Have you ever had one of those amazing light bulb moment ideas for an app, a story, a song, and then it just kind of fizzles out when you think, but I have no idea how to actually build that? Yeah, that feeling of being stuck, of having your imagination blocked by this huge technical wall, we've all been there. Well, today, we're going to watch that wall completely crumble.
Okay, let's get right into it. That space between having a great idea and actually making it real, that's a huge source of frustration for so many people. It's the graveyard where countless incredible concepts end up, just because the person who had the idea doesn't know how to code or compose or animate. We're talking about the idea execution gap.
But what if I told you that we're standing at the edge of a massive shift, a whole new era where the most important skill isn't how well you can code, but how well you can explain your idea? We're moving away from a world of I can't because I don't know how to a world of I can because I can describe it.
Now listen to this. This quote comes from an experienced manager, someone who gets technology, but he's been out of the hands-on coding game for years. A year ago, the idea of him, by himself, building a complex app from scratch was, and this is his words, absolutely impossible. The barrier to entry was just way too high.
And this really captures why it felt impossible. The old way meant you'd inevitably hit a wall. You know, a single stubborn bug that could literally eat up a week of your life. That's the kind of thing that makes most of us just throw our hands up and quit. It took so much patience and super specialized knowledge.
So, okay, if that was the old, frustrating way, what's the new way? Well, we're about to see it in action. We're going to see how a simple conversation can be turned into a real working piece of software.
Seriously. Just imagine for a second you didn't have to write one single line of code. What if you could just talk your idea into existence? Sounds kind of like magic, right? Well, let's watch a real-world example of this happening right now. So check this out. This isn't code. This is just plain English. But look at how detailed and creative this request is. You've got 2 columns, drag and drop stickers, looping audio for each sticker, and dynamic volume control that changes when you resize the image. I mean, this sounds like a project that would take a pretty good developer days, maybe even weeks to build from the ground up.
And here's the kicker. The amount of time that passed from speaking that prompt to getting a working prototype? 5 minutes. Not 5 weeks, not 5 days, 5 minutes. And this wasn't some broken, half-baked mess. The AI delivered a fully functional web app. It understood every single piece of that request. The stickers, you could actually drag them. The sounds, they looped perfectly. And resizing them, it really did change the volume. Every single creative idea from that one sentence was translated into a working feature. This isn't just about being fast. It's about genuine understanding. You know, this completely flips the script on what it means to be a creator. It's a huge paradigm shift. You're no longer the one who has to lay every single brick. You're now the architect, and you're directing a super skilled, tireless builder. Let's just look at this comparison side by side. The old role, you were the coder. You were in the weeds, writing every line, debugging every frustrating error by yourself. But the new role, you're the architect. Your job is to describe the vision, to spot when something's not quite right, and then to instruct your AI partner on how to fix it. You're the director, not the laborer. And this really gets to the heart of this new partnership. As the creator himself put it, my team is actually the AI. Just think about that for a second. A partner that never gets tired, never gets frustrated, never gives up. It will just keep trying over and over again based on your feedback until what's on the screen finally matches the vision in your head. So what does this mean for the rest of us? Well, the incredible thing here is that this new superpower isn't about learning some complex programming language. It's about getting better at a skill we all already have, just having a conversation.
The new creative workflow is really just a conversation. It's a simple loop. You start with an idea. You describe it any way you want, with words, a quick sketch, your voice, and the AI gives you a first draft. Then you just look at it and give feedback. Make that button blue, or change the melody right there. And you just keep repeating that until it's perfect.
You know, maybe the most powerful part of this whole thing is that the core skill, being able to clearly explain your vision, is totally universal. The exact same back-and-forth process used to build an app can be used to produce a song, to edit a video, to write a novel, or to create a piece of art. The canvas changes, but the skill stays the same.
And look, this isn't some far-off future we're talking about. This is happening right now, and the technology is getting better at an incredible speed. The canvas for your ideas is basically becoming infinite.
I mean, just think about this pace for a second. Only a year ago, this stuff was impossible. Today, it takes minutes. And in just a few months, the AIs are going to be so good, they'll probably get it right on the very first try, instead of needing a few rounds of feedback. The speed of improvement is just breathtaking.
And what's driving this crazy progress is memory. The newest AI models have what's called a context window of over 1.5 million words. To put that in perspective, that means it can hold the entire story of multiple long novels in its short-term memory at once. It's not going to forget what you told it yesterday or even last week. It remembers every little detail of your project as you build it together.
So what does all this add up to? It means that a barrier that has stood between our imagination and our ability to create for centuries, the need for specialized technical skill, is literally dissolving right in front of our eyes.
The tools are here. They are getting ridiculously powerful, easier to use, and more intuitive every single day. The only limit anymore is the clarity of your vision. So the question is no longer, can you build it? The only question left is, what will you create?